In about 60 CE, Roman philosopher Seneca finished his psychological treatise on peace of mind with a famous quote by Aristotle. "No great genius has ever existed without a strain of madness." Aristotle's teacher Plato used the term theomania to describe a condition of divine madness bestowed by the gods upon human beings, which might include poetic inspiration, amorous passion, prophetic frenzy, and divine ecstasy. Epicurus added the idea of atomic swerve, which holds that particles may deviate from their expected course, thus permitting humans to possess free will in an otherwise deterministic universe. In modern physics, the double-slit experiment demonstrates that light and matter can exhibit behavior of both particles and waves. There is a disconnect between the real world and our mental constructs. On top of that, conformity to societal norms can alienate individuals from their natural selves. As a result, the truth is accessible only to those who dare think outside the box. Siberian shamans and Sufi mystics resort to irrational behaviors and perform auto-hypnotic dances to find union with the divine. Modern chaos theory states that within the apparent randomness of chaotic complex systems, microscopic and macroscopic phenomena develop sometimes elusive patterns and feedback loops suggestive of some kind of cosmic dance. According to Shaivism, Lord Shiva's divine dance and his consort Lalita's random activities give rise to all events in the universe. In ancient India, divine madmen known as Avadutas, Kapalikas, and Kalamukas follow the left-hand path, a particular mode of worship which employs heterodox practices aimed at spiritual growth. In modern India, the Aghoris live in close contact with corpses and transcend social taboos in order to achieve an altered state of consciousness and consequently become awakened. That said, nowhere is divine madness so passionately expressed than in Bhakti Yoga. In mythical times, there was a bizarre musician and storyteller called Narada Muni who carried wisdom, knowledge, and trickery all over India. Mischievous though he was, he truly embodied Bhakti Yoga and attained spiritual liberation through his utter devotion to Vishnu. Dattatreya was another divine ascetic whose triple personality combined traits of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Dattatreya had no teachers or preceptors, yet reached divine awareness by observing nature during his wanderings. Tibet too had its fair share of divine madmen, generally known as Nyongpa. One of them, named Tantong Gyalpo, was a 14th century sorcerer and explorer, famous for building several bridges in the Himalayas. Another Tibetan eccentric was the 15th century hermit Sanyong Heruka, who adorned his hair with human fingers and toes and drank blood out of human skulls. In ancient China, divine madmen typically retreated to the mountains, where they were believed to develop supernatural abilities and sometimes gain immortality through spiritual practices and alchemy. Born in 1208 in the Uyghur region of western China, Nasreddin Hoja traveled on donkey back from western China to Turkey. His unconventional lifestyle earned him the sobriquet the Silk Road's Divine Madman. The most famous maverick from eastern China was 12th century Buddhist monk Jigong. Though righteous and courageous, he was also notorious for his erratic behavior and consumption of alcohol. However, the most puzzling character in Asia was Lan Caihe. Born in 9th century China, he lived as a homeless street entertainer and wandered all over the country, singing philosophical songs. He typically wore feminine clothes, which would sometimes get caught on brambles. He carried a wooden staff and a basket of flowers, and entertained the townsfolk by dancing barefoot in the street. Tales of his exploits and antics circulated as far as Europe in the Middle Ages, and inspired the figure of the Fool. In most tarot decks, the Fool card is numbered as 0, which represents the cosmic egg, that is, universal potentiality, as is reflected by the Latin proverb, all life comes from an egg. The Fool is the protagonist of the Fool's journey leading up to his enlightenment, and bears a striking similarity to the Wayfarer portrayed by Hieronymus Bosch between the 15th and 16th centuries. The Wayfarer's foot is slipshod, and his trouser leg is rolled up. This motif is reminiscent of the first-degree ceremony of Masonic initiation, where the entered apprentice removes his shoes to tread on the hall's consecrated ground, and exposes his left leg to symbolically show he is a free, unshackled man, determined to climb the Masonic ladder and stairs. Likewise, the Divine Madman embarks on the sacred path to awakening.